I dress you like this. Real I dress you like this. I dress you like this.
Hey yo, Steady Roosevelt here.
Yo, Timothy McBain checking in.
And you're tuned into Culture Shock Radio.
It's not just another podcast.
We're going behind the scenes to give you that fly on the wall perspective.
There's always a story behind everything. From the music we listen to,
the food and places we eat,
sneakers we rock and where we compliment,
the bars we frequent,
local artists we fucks with,
DJs we cut it up with,
entrepreneurs we look up to.
And because we know most of them personally, we can give you an experience that only the rap masters can present you.
So without further ado, here's the unscripted,
unfiltered,
unwanted opinions from us and our friends as we give your ears a backstage pass to what's happening around you.
Let's go!
Culture Shock Radio Season 2.
Apparently not.
How are you doing, Slimothy?
I'm doing very, very well today.
Very well?
Very well.
We got some very, very great news today. Well, I just found out last night. Culture Shock Radio is officially on Spotify. And then today we also have another big announcement with our very special guest here today. A man of many shirts. One being that is his
They're not Crocs.
What those Crocs are leather.
They're Birkenstocks.
They're Birkies?
They're Birkies.
They're Birkies, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only DJ Protege.
What up?
So what's this what's going on with you, dude? What's this big announcement, man?
You had a big announcement.
I didn't have a big announcement.
Is this a big announcement?
I don't think
nothing's been going on lately?
No, there's been stuff going on. Like I've been raking into the yard and cutting the grass.
I bet you had Javier for that.
No, he quit on me.
He quit on you?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Those dreamers, man. You know, you gotta fucking watch them, bro.
No, I think but I guess it's being serious. Is with the album's almost out, so.
I Am Pro.
My album's almost out. I'm in the final stages of it. The artwork is something that's holding me back right now. I'm working with a couple different people.
So you're not going with your face on it? I like that. It's so asshole.
I know.
It's still on the chop block. I'm just waiting to see what some of the drawings come back like before I just make that decision. Yeah, but I think it's gonna be cool because like I wanted to have like an old school album feel. So rather than me going into Photoshop and just trying to put some graphics together and generically kind of borrow pictures and steal shit and kind of.
So we'll do it organically.
Yeah. So okay. I've got Block, a graffiti artist. He was supposed to be working on it, and I've talked to him, touched base with him a couple times on it. Brashard,
Boondock said you reached out to him for it.
Brashard's got some stuff that he's working on for me to look at, and so does Fred 512 or 512 Fred.
Okay.
Fred Flint.
No.
512
DJ Fred.
Yeah, 512
512 Fred.
Yeah.
But no,
dude, Fred is cold on graffiti, dog. Like,
yeah,
he doesn't talk about it.
Art,
he doesn't talk about it, but he's always been really dope at it.
It was the name. What he used to go by, Seth1 or something like that. What was his DJ name back in the day?
Was that his tag name?
I'm sorry, Fred, but we know you as Fred. What was his DJ handle?
Was it Say? I can't remember. Oh my God.
Everybody's got a DJ handle and then their real name. So obviously yours is Jason.
Well, like Dopez got his. Like for instance, Dopez got his because everybody that was just like his Instagram name, and everybody just kind of kept calling him Dopez.
Is his last name Lopez?
Yeah, it was David Lopez. His name, and it's just D.
Is he disrespect? Is he Hispanic or is he Filipino? Which one is?
No, I think he's Hispanic. He's from San Antonio. Yeah, he's Hispanic from San Antonio.
Yeah, because it's hard to tell these days. Some Filipinos will.
But like Fred, like everybody.
The Gutierrez and the Gonzalez.
Yeah.
It's kind of confusing.
Well, even like in Fred's case, like I mean, I've known Fred for years, but then like people who just know him through Instagram and scratching.
512 Fred.
Yeah, everybody calls him 512 Fred, so it just kind of stuck. But yeah, Fred has been on his game way before any social media stuff. I mean, he's always scratched. He's always done graffiti. He's always drawn.
Yeah.
He's always raced cars.
Yeah.
I mean, in Montopolis, if you ever went past his mom's house in the 90s and early 2000s, there was a Honda Civic in the driveway that was like on roids that he fixed up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what he's always been into something.
Him and Ray have always been into vehicles, especially in Montopolis. Like if you pass that
Ray's
first street on Vargas, you see his pop spot with all the cars.
Ray's always been into tuners and Jeeps. That's the two things that Ray's always been. And Ray's always
Sexy
DJ'd,
bastard.
but he always he never really cared to really go into the bar or just, I don't know. I don't know if he doesn't care or if he just doesn't have that type of drive, but he always kind of just, I'll do the house party. I'll do this one-off thing. I'll do this. I'll do that. He goes to Jeep and Beats, Jeeps and Go Topless at the beach, which is a Jeep meet. And then there's another called Jeeps and Beach, I think.
They DJ like right out there on the beach. And
He
right up
sets
there.
up,
He sets up
in the back of the Jeep on top of it,
Yeah.
and DJs out the back of the Jeep
Yeah,
at
I
the
saw
beach
pictures
for
of
the
it
Jeep
posted
meet.
up. He's sitting like.
Now some of those are like crazy, like old school MTV spring break parties. Like they go. That's
What was that show
That's
called?
why they call it Go Topless.
Was that old MTV show The Grind?
Yeah.
That was
That's why they call it Go Topless. But yeah, there's always been like.
That was the White America version of Soul Train.
Spring Break Week and shit where they just broadcasted live from.
Yeah, and I guess to finish up that subject, it's just these people have been doing things for years, but nobody really kind of knew them because they weren't just gigging DJs, and then getting into like Instagram, because you can talk shit on Twitter all day till you're blue in the face, but it's boring. At least to me,
it's just words.
Yeah, I'm very visual, so that's why I like Instagram. Like I can see shit, you know, and I can just stare at pictures all day, whether I hate it or love it. I can just look at the pictures and be like, this is stupid. This is stupid. Screw your dog. I don't care. Like your dog is drooling all over your lap. It's in the picture. I see it.
How about the famous Protege and Dick Nixon selfie battle on Instagram?
Oh, that was funny. That was really funny.
Oh man, the one time.
Yeah. He got me, dude. It was funny though.
He got you.
I'm not butthurt on him, but he was actually funny as this. But
it was hurtful at the time.
No, I don't know. I just think like, dude, we were just playing. Like you took it to another level. Like that's where that's when things changed, because it was fun and it was funny.
Congratulations, Nick. You gave Pro that.
I don't know. I don't know if Nick got like offended by something I did and decided to take it to the next level.
He took a good minute to put that together, though.
He
had to think on that for a minute.
I had a whole new respect for him after that.
That's meticulous. You know, you can see something through to the end.
I was floored by how many pictures of me he had.
Exactly.
It's like, what do you got, a collage book that I don't even have?
What are you, president of the Protege fan club?
I didn't even know that picture existed. How'd you get it? Call my publicist. Get the rights to that.
Get my people on the phone with you people. So now, Pro, we have you here. Obviously, you know we have the Suck It Pro session every episode. Is there anybody that Pro wants to reach back out to in lieu of a response to any of the playful ego punching?
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't bother me, man.
He said fuck everybody. They're all beneath him.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
One of my favorite quotes that I've been using lately is from JJ. Shout out Y2. The music is awesome.
Yes, sir.
It says, maybe it's because these top floors make you niggas look like ants. And that's how Pro views the world.
No, hit him with the Y2.
No, I don't know what it. No, that stuff doesn't bother me. Actually, I think it's funny, man.
Well, you endorsed it early on.
Well, no, when I listen to the podcast, it's funny. Like it's something that makes me laugh. I don't think like, oh, so and so's talking shit. Like I see it as just. I know a lot of people, man, and you know, I enjoy hearing interviews of people I know and people I don't know. But when the people I do know, you know, because they know that I know you and they know that I know Slim, and then so we all know the guest and everything, even though I'm not there. And when somebody's just like, suck it, Pro, like, that shit is funny to me. You know what I mean? It's funny to me. It makes me laugh. And, like, I'll be listening to a podcast just kind of, and then it'll come sometimes out of the blue.
Yeah.
And that's when it's even funnier because it's, like, unexpected to be like, yeah, and the weather's outside is so sick. Suck it, Pro, you're probably fishing. Like, you know?
With Perez.
Yeah,
Perez is
Mike
when he
right
came in. He's like, man, Protege is fucking wag. It's like right off the top.
Funny. It's funny because, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't take offense to that because somebody can say that shit to their blue in the face, but, I mean, I know I don't put out bullshit, so that's why it doesn't bother me. Like, I mean, I know what I make isn't for everybody, and 50% of what I make probably, you know, is people just maybe just don't even like. off the top, like 2 seconds of it, they're like, eh. Whether it be the sample, whether it be the snare, whether it be the pattern or the tempo, it's just people aren't gonna like it, and that's something that I think recently that I've kind of gained acceptance on, and I think that was like a major factor of the album never coming out, is because like I was always worried about people, like what if they don't like it? What if it isn't good enough? What if, and all these like negative what if ideas, and I think I just finally kind of grew up past it in the sense of, I don't give a fuck. I got an album out, you don't. What are you going to say now?
You're hearing it first here, ladies and gentlemen. God does worry.
but yeah,
he does second guess himself.
And it's not that I'm not trying to say that I feel better than anybody, but when somebody doesn't like something, it's okay. Like I don't like a lot of things, but then
like half these motherfucking DJs.
I don't like a lot of things, but then there's a lot of things I really do like. You know what I mean? And like every now and then, I'll hear something like. I remember when Lottie Da's son Nico, he kind of, I wouldn't say apprenticed with me, but he spent almost a summer with me, 2 to 3 days a week.
I remember.
Yeah, Lottie Da had asked me about it. He was like, yo, Nico would like to work with you in the studio. Is that something you'd be interested in? Because Lottie Da does beats, to his testament and all that, and has. But I think what it is that father-son dynamic to where it's Lottie Da, and and his son is like, I don't kick it with my dad. That's my dad mentality.
Yeah.
So
even though it's the Godfather.
Yeah, I mean, because even me going into high school was looking at Lottie Da like that's the dude that's really doing it. Because I remember going to house parties with Flo, and Lottie Da was the DJ. But I think when it comes to Nico, it had a little bit to do with, well, that's my dad. I kind of don't want to kick it with my dad, so Lottie Da reached out to me, and he was like, yo, Nico likes your beats, and would you be cool with, like, kind of showing him how you do things and taking him under your wing and just kind of helping him elevate his style? I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So the deal, but Lottie Da, like, got it handed to him. This is where, like, the dude is like a stand-up, like, dad, because Lottie Da was like, look, bro, being honest, he was like, I don't want him going over and just playing on your equipment all day or doing everything.
Put him to work.
Yeah, Lottie Da was like, yo, he needs to do some work around the house. After work around the house, then y'all get in the studio and cut or do whatever you need to do.
So you
The yards look immaculate at that point.
Slave labor, and you jumped at it.
It's like an indentured
You gave Javier the week off, the summer off.
It's like indentured service.
They said Mikey blah blah will never know that struggle.
Yeah, so I broke it up into pieces. So like one day Nico would come cut the grass, and then he'd bring a change of clothes, he'd take a shower, and then we got done with the shower, then he'd come get me and we'd go work in the studio for a bit.
Yeah.
But I didn't hold his hand and try to tell him what to do. So if he had a question, I would explain certain techniques, and then we would. And if I didn't have a bundle, it started out with me going through some of my old sample records, and I would pick the material, like chop this up, do something to it. I'll come back in an hour. Let's talk about it. And then it got to the point to where he would do his chore and then take a shower, and then we would go get lunch, and I would take him to the Goodwill on Slaughter. And I'd be like, okay, pick you $10 worth of records. I'm buying since you cut the grass. So he'd buy $10 worth of used records at Goodwill. We'd come back to the crib, and then he would go to town sampling beats. And he would try to come up with as many beats as he could in like a couple hours.
Nice.
Then I'd come back and we would talk about it. And I would tell him, I think, what worked. And I didn't try to judge it or gauge it by the style. Was it my style of hip-hop? I try to look at it from a production standpoint
By
and
the overall quality.
where was it at sonically?
Yes.
And man, Nico was killing it, dude. Like,
I think too many people get that. Like, if they try to say like, I don't like it, when they critique it, it's because it's not their style.
Right. Well, I never had that. I never had that going into production. I just made stuff, and and none of my friends were really making beats. Flo wasn't making beats. We were all into DJing and stuff, and I sucked in the beginning. I mean, it's natural. Everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah.
But so it was kind of in a way for me to do for a friend, which nobody really did for me.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was younger, like Swing used to hate on my beats, man. there would be like 1 out of like 100.
The God himself.
Yeah, there'd be like 1 out of 100. Maybe that's the one we should do. Oh, hating ass swing. maybe
Suck it, swing.
Yeah, suck it, swing.
No, it's fuck you, swing.
But I remember because I always would like I'd make a beat and I'd be so excited and I'd have it on mini disc or I'd record it down to CD or something and I'd play it after the radio show because me and Swing would do the radio show and then we'd drive downtown for the last hour of drinking. And sometimes I'd play some beats or something that I would burn down the CD, and he always hated everything. But I get it now, cause we were doing radio, and and I was a lot younger. I mean, shit, when we were doing radio and
You were
going
still in
to
high school, weren't you?
No, I was out of high school, but I was like 18 or 19.
For those of y'all that don't know, he went to Crockett High School in
Yeah.
Southside Austin.
Yeah, I'm all.
Where a lot of you guys who are out doing stuff now went and act totally different, but we know.
But yeah, and so but
We know.
I get why Swing didn't, because Swing didn't come from a production background. He didn't care how I was chopping it up. He didn't care if I sampled it or played keys. He didn't care. What he listened to, and I kind of get it now because what he didn't like about the beats when he kept saying I didn't like it, I don't think it was from my point when I was listening, trying to be all technical and nerdy and shit. I think because we were doing radio and we were DJing. He was listening to it kind of from the perspective of
The format.
What could I play with?
not the format, but does it sound like a Dr. Dre beat? Not does it sound like it, but sonically,
Can it be that
is
caliber?
the kick and the snare there? Is the bass there? Is the mids there? Does it all mix in?
Well, I mean, if you're measuring yourself up against Dr. Dre, I'm sorry.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because you got to think about Swing doesn't make beats. Swing's done a bunch of remixes and stuff at this point. Like, he's done a handful of remixes, but at the time, like, Swing wasn't into production or into remixing or anything like that. So when I would come to him making beats on an MPC, this is way before Pro Tools and Ableton. And, dude, this Cubase was like, and Acid, and like Sony Acid were like the next level shit, man.
Yeah.
Pro Tools like was just a minor glimpse because it was so expensive back then.
I think for the new wave guys, y'all's generation, it's called analog.
It's all
I think
analog
it's starting to
here.
come back now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole gang of like analog producers and people that want to kind of on that kind of lo-fi, keep it real backpacker movement. And I still use my MPC, but I mean, I've been there, done that. I don't feel the need to absolutely go retro like some of these kids that didn't grow up with it. They only know laptops and Cakewalk and that type of shit and Ableton and Cubase. They only know that.
Yeah.
So they have this need and want to kind of go retro in a sense because they didn't experience it when I still save on an external SCSI drive on my MPC. Like, a fucking 30-pin SCSI cable. The cable itself is about a half an inch thick. It's 30 fucking cables wrapped up in one bundle.
Jesus.
With a block that's like, how small a USB head is?
Yeah,
You plug
yeah.
it in. It's like a third of an inch, and it's only about like a eighth of an inch thick. Okay, imagine that motherfucker 10 times the size of that. It's 2 inches wide and a half an inch thick.
God damn.
That's how big a SCSI cable is.
That's bigger than some of y'all's manhood. So.
Dude, there's hard drives that are, it's, now that I think about it, the size of your average external hard drive nowadays, the 2.5 externals, that's how thick and how wide just the plug of the SCSI cable is. And so I still save on that shit to this day when it comes to an MPC. It's that fucking analog.
Wow.
My hard drive with my MPC has 2 gigabytes of space.
And that's top of the line, man.
Dog, it was so top of the line in '99.
Megabytes back in the day
Dude,
was like top of the line.
Dog, that 2 gigabyte external hard drive costed me $125, and I had to order it from a custom formatter that dealt with MPC specifically on eBay in the UK.
Hey.
Some nerdy MPC guy, he reformatted the drives to work specifically with the MPC.
And you had to send that to him?
No, he bought it, and
Hey.
he bought it. Ism's
Yeah, he's
calling me right now. Shout out to Ism. What up?
What up?
Suck it, Ism. Everybody's getting it today.
Speaking of everybody's getting it, we're going to get into the petty section now. What is the pettiest thing you've done in the last week?
Me?
Yeah.
Pro petty? No.
What's the pettiest thing you've done, like, in this whole last 7 days? Because we all do petty shit. You can't think?
I don't know, because I really tried not to be so petty. I really don't know.
When you're not trying is when you're the best at it. He's said, I can't even fucking think.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Slim, what's the pettiest thing you've done in the past?
I don't know. At work, I want to have some grills. I want to retail some grills at work, but I really don't want to. I told the owner of the grill company I really don't want to, in a nice way, of course. But I told him straight up, like, I kind of don't want to retail them unless I have a custom one made specifically for us, of some type of imagery that states that you can only get this at Slab.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Slab Barbecue.
You're gonna put it there.
Yeah. Shout out to Slab, Mark, and Raph and the whole squad.
Yeah, we all got our Slab cups. And
No, I got my Goodwill heart.
Dude, I put
coffee
the family put the family yesterday. We had a little barbecue get together, and I made some pulled pork with the slab bread sauce.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's how we serve it in the restaurant.
Everybody loved it.
I've got this idea for a pulled pork sandwich at the restaurant. I'll probably do it tomorrow since I'll be north because I have to go to Round Rock to get some of the ingredients. Don't say anything.
Don't say anything?
Yeah, you might already have an idea, but
Can we get a sandwich? I got an idea for some sandwiches and shit.
I mean,
if we pitch them to Mark, we just get our name on there, you know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Get a culture sandwich?
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm good with that. You know
Mark's the final approval when it comes to recipes, so.
Yeah.
And Mark, we are very sorry. A lot of people don't know this because it's not available, but the actual first interview for Culture Shock Radio was Mark of Slab Barbecue, and we did not have the heart to tell him, or the
technical difficulties?
The technical difficulties that only recorded 8 seconds of that fucking interview. So we owe you big time for that one, my man.
Yeah, shout out to Mark. Me and Mark actually just went to the National Barbecue Conference in Fort Worth.
Didn't he get 9th place, or was it?
No, that was Mark just took 9th place in brisket at the Luling Oil Museum cook-off. With brisket.
Luling is where they have the famous one of the famous towns, the Watermelon Thump.
Yeah, the Watermelon Thump.
If you are not from Texas or from the South, you do not know about Watermelon Thump.
Doesn't Smithville have one too?
Yes, they do. Luling has one. I think Gonzales has one. It's all the small towns.
Yeah, so Mark took 9th place. Mark took 9th place, well, I mean, I hate to say just Mark because it is a team. It's Mark and Mike. But so Mark and Mike collaboratively took 9th place on the brisket, and shout out to my boy Chicken Mike. Chicken Mike took on the barbecue team. Chicken Mike took 2nd place.
Oh, nice. Was that with the jerk
with
one?
chicken.
Was it the jerk one
No, the jerk one was an exclusive recipe that one of our squad members, Will made that exclusively for Scratch Bastard and the Bastard's Barbecue.
Shout out Will. That chicken sounds amazing.
Slab Will made it. Yeah, give him the truck horn.
If we get him, if we make the commercial for him in the drop, maybe he can make us some of that jerk chicken so we can try out, because it sounded amazing.
It was good, man. It was really good. And what really topped it off is Will got kind of creative with it, and he put slices of fresh pineapple on it. So it was jerk chicken, Scratch Bastard's barbecue sauce. So we smoked the chicken. Will seasoned it to his liking in the jerk recipe style. A slice of fresh pineapple, and then Scratch Bastard's barbecue sauce.
What was the sauce? Like, what was this kind of? What kind
I didn't make it to the event because I was at the thing. I got to sample it at the rodeo.
Yeah.
And it was great. So I don't remember the exact sauce, but it was great. Shout out to Will, man. He did a fantastic job, man.
We would love to have some of that chicken, and we would even be willing to offer you
the whole
interview
thing. I just realized
session with Coach Shock Radio to make that happen.
Yeah, I could probably get Will. I just realized we're supposed to be talking about the album. We're over here talking.
Oh yeah,
about
we're
barbecue.
all over the place.
We're talking about barbecue. It is, just so you know, it is 9:46 a.m. We've been kicking it since 8, and we're already talking lunch.
Going back to the album, the I Am Pro debut album. How are you distributing this? This is the announcement.
Yeah.
How are you going about?
Oh, that's what we're supposed to talk about.
That's what we're here for.
I thought we were talking about barbecue.
Okay, so I put together the album, and the intention was to put it out as an independent. And I was going to go through a buddy of mine that owns a distribution label.
Is that J.J. Jensen?
Yeah, J.J. Jensen. Shout out to Double J.
Yeah, Double J.
At Foundation Media, and I was just going to do it as an independent. But I sent the album, or the kind of the sampler version, which is pretty much a full-length album with some extras that aren't actually going to make the album. And I sent it to Alberto in New York.
Drum roll, please.
Yeah, so, co-creator of the original BRMG threesome. That sounded bad.
The three-headed monster.
Yeah.
Alberto, Protege, and Fetty Man.
Yeah,
That's the original BRMG team.
And so I sent it to Alberto, and Alberto was like, "Yo, do you mind if I send it to the homie Scotty Blizz? He's an A&R at Soul Spasm." So, and I was like, "Yeah, that'd be dope, actually." So he sent it to Scotty Blizz.
No, don't send it. No, I don't want that. No.
No, don't send it. So he sent it to Scotty Blizz, and a week goes by, and I was just like, shit. Maybe he didn't listen to it.
Did he like
it? Maybe he didn't like it. Shit. I haven't heard anything.
But then he looked in the
So,
mirror
because
and reminded himself.
you gotta think about it. Like, even though I've come to terms with people not liking it, this is different. Like, cause this guy's an A&R, and he kind of brings projects to the table, to the label, and then potentially get signed, that type of thing. And so a week goes by, and I'm already kind of stressing. Like, well, shit. I guess this guy hated it. Like, whatever. It is what it is. It was a good look. For Bert to pass it on. And then I get an email out of the blue like a week and a half later, and it was Scotty Blizz. And Scotty Blizz is like, "Yo, I'm really feeling this album. I haven't stopped listening to it since I got it a week ago.
Nice.
I wanted to email you sooner, but I really wanted to just keep listening and wrap my head around it fully to see if I was just excited about it because it's a Protege thing. Because I've met Scotty on other occasions, but I mean, we're obviously not best friends.
Yeah.
We've just kind of crossed paths over the years. And then so we set up a conference call, and he was like, "Yo, I'm really into this album. Do you mind if I send it up to Jim Drew, the owner of Soul Spasm?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude." I was like, "If you're feeling it, maybe he'll like it. Let's see what happens." With no anticipation of anything serious happening.
That's just good validation, knowing. Yeah.
Well, I know that the A&R likes it, but that doesn't mean the guy who signs the checks likes it, or the guy who strategizes for release and rollouts and all that. Like, I didn't know if he was going to like it, because he's the guy who has to sign off on it, no matter what. He's the end-all, be-all, the buck stops here kind of guy. Not that he's a bad guy, but just he's the one who has to give final approval.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple of days go by, and then I get a group email from Jim saying they're really excited about the project. They would like to sign it, and once we get the paperwork in, then we'll take the next necessary steps to talk single, to talk rollout, to talk retail, release dates, pricing, the whole nine. So at this point, I've actually signed the Soul Spasm.
As an artist.
As an artist, yeah. I signed to him as an artist, not as an independent. So
that means when you do go on tour, you can bring your DJ and your MCs with you there? You can get a crew now, right?
Well, let me just put it this way. It's still indie hip-hop. There's not a lot of money in the...
Oh, we'll go for free. We don't care.
There's not a lot of money in the budget. It is still indie hip-hop. For those that don't know, it's an instrumental album. So with that in mind, it's one of those things that there's not a whole lot of money behind it. It's still backpacker hip-hop. It doesn't matter what I DJ in a club.
But it's what you want to do. And it's where you want to be.
Because what I DJ in the club is so night and day different than what I do in my personal
they judge
time.
you off of like just going and seeing what you play. Just because you can play any genre or whatever, they might be like completely surprised when they hear your musical sound. And that's just your hip hop, because you also do dance.
Yeah, about to say, because I do have
very well rounded.
I do have a house release on iTunes right now, and I have another house single that's on deck to be released, but I don't want that to come out till after the album. Well, I don't want it to come out till after the album because I don't want to send like mixed signals. Yeah. But I still dabble in all types of production. I just like music, man. I can't help it.
Well, speaking of music, who are just off top of your head, like it doesn't have to be local or regional, just all around, like with hip hop, what are the three artists or acts or anything that you're listening to right now as a fan, not as a DJ, but just what are you rocking right now? Okay, so I'll keep it simple without any favoritism. There's it's going to be a little weird, but it's not so weird. So there's four. The 5 current albums that I'm listening to, 4 of those are paid albums that I actually bought. Okay, so the oldest of the 5 is Ninth Wonder, Zion 2, his instrumental album. Nice. So nice. That's the oldest one of the most current that I've actually paid for.
It's good, man. There's things about it that I like. There's things about it I don't like. There's songs I absolutely like, I love, and I replay on repeat. It's also like, I think it's 40 beats.
Damn.
But the way I kind of look at instrumental albums nowadays, and it's not just Ninth Wonder, but every instrumental album is anywhere between 20 and 40 tracks. I feel like that's like your standard.
30-ish,
yeah, that's your standard instrumental album because the songs aren't like
they're not like 4
or 5 minutes long. They're like some are. There are songs that are like a minute and a half.
Yeah,
and then there's
like
songs that are like on the long
minutes,
side are probably 3 to 3.5 minutes. On an instrumental album, they're short songs.
Yeah, they're shorter. Yeah.
So the Zion 2, and this is one of the wild cards. The next one I bought after that was Andrew WK's newest album. It's called You're Not Alone. It's a rock album. It's so different than listening to hip hop.
Yeah.
But I find it really entertaining. It's like. The reason why I bought it is because there was a couple songs that stood out to me, and every single song in this album sounds like an 80s hairband rock montage type song.
That's like the best part.
So imagine what's that movie that we liked with the kid and the bike and he has to jump.
Hot Rod.
Okay, imagine the dance scene is a Hot Rod where he's jumping through the forest. Every song in the album has that feel.
So for those who haven't seen Hot Rod with Andy Samberg, you need to watch when he dances.
I sampled that beat.
Yeah, he's in deep thought and he's in the woods, and this theme music comes on.
Yeah.
He does this. Don't you never give up, dude. What is that?
And it's a montage, and he's like, I have to go dance in the woods or something.
I have to fist punch it. After I went to a wood and glen and fist punched my rage.
Yeah, he did like a dance one. But yes, so that's number 2 that I bought. In the middle of those two. Because I've been working on my shit for a while. So Zion 2 came out, and then the second album is my shit. But no, I'm analyzing it.
Y'all heard it here first, motherfucker.
I love my job.
No, the reason why I'm going through is because I'm taking notes for final mix down, and because I want to. And that was like the next step in the signing process was they asked me when I want to take it to retail, and I was like, well, let me go back through one more final end-all be-all mix down just to double check to make sure I'm happy. And so that's where I'm at right now. And that's why I'm listening to it on repeat, because I've been taking notes mentally and physically. Just, okay, this song is dope. I don't think I have enough snare. Okay, this song is dope. Don't change anything. This song, I like it. I don't love it. Scrap it. So that's what I've been doing with that. So that's why mine is number 2, which is the full-length 40 tracks, or 39 technically. And then You're Not Alone from Andrew WK. Then it goes on to Planet Asia's new album, The Golden Buddha.
Yeah.
Fire. The intro is fire. The second track is fire. Then the third and fourth track kind of, that's cool.
Yeah.
But the intro track is
the first
dope.
The first two hooked you.
Yeah, the first 2 are definitely good.
And what's
and the last one, and this is and I just kind of honestly I slept on it because I forgot. Was the most recent one that I bought was the Big Crit album.
Oh, nice. Oh,
yeah.
Forever is a mighty long time.
Yeah.
And
Crit is amazing.
Yeah, dude. I didn't like him at first because I thought I wrote him off for long, so I just kept thinking, he just sounds too much like he's trying to be Pimp C. But I mean, after like
I get it.
Like looking into him, he produces his own shit. He writes his own shit.
Yeah.
He can sing. I mean, like, you know what? Yeah, he's good. He's very talented. Can't knock that.
I mean, I get it. I really do get it. Why people would say that, but I mean, he has UGK as a feature on that album.
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean, I don't see it as he's trying to be like.
No, that's just me. I didn't know him.
Although a lot of people did say that.
Yeah.
In
that's
the beginning,
what initially got me to write.
But I just feel like he's the modern day creation of the old school. I wouldn't say old school Southern rapper, but the kind of benchmark Southern rapper of
the epitome of.
Yeah, when I think Bun B and Pimp C, I think ESG, I think Big Mike.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Those are artists I think of, and I feel like growing up, Big Crit was definitely
listening to that.
And you can tell his influence.
And those influence show because it's real soulful and it's real Southern church, and it's very gospel, but then it's still hip hop and 808s and trunk rattling. So it's like all that shit thrown into one. So I get what people say that, oh, he sounds like Pimp C, but I really.
No, that was just my initial thing. I got over that.
Right, I don't really. I don't really.
Brashard Boone put me.
I can see how people get to that conclusion. But I don't think he's trying to be.
To me, to me, I love it because it's the nostalgic feel of Pimp C. Obviously, he's no longer here.
Speaking on
it's classic Southern rap to me.
Stuff like that.
It's classic Southern rap to me. It's Outkast's first album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's that's what it sounds like to me. It's
he's one of those that you could definitely
8-Ball and MJG.
It's 8-Ball and MJG. It's
coming out hard.
Do you remember Parental Advisory from Atlanta?
Yes, I do.
Okay, it reminds me of that. It reminds me of that stuff. It reminds me of the first Goody Mob album, super musical shit, you know, but it's still Southern rap. It's just because they incorporated a lot of like soulful like guitars, kind of like, and that's where like that B.B. King influence to where he later on went to have a track with B.B. King.
Now, speaking of
not a sample, him and B.B. King in the studio.
Speaking of B.B. King, I think he's from Europe. Have you heard of a DJ / producer called Amerigo Gazaway?
No.
Okay, so he did this kind of like mashup album, remix album of B.B. King and UGK. It's called The Trill Is Gone.
I love mashup.
Oh wow!
And there's the original picture of Pimp C and Bun in the drop top.
Is that on YouTube?
They put B.B. King face on it?
And they put him in the back seat. And the way they he imposed it was beautiful. And then he did another album with it's Common and Stevie Wonder.
What do you call it?
Oh, fuck, I forgot. But his name is Amerigo Gazaway. And it's just, we're transitioning into DJs, whether you could say here in Austin, who are your, like, top 3 DJs that you fuck with? That's, whether you know them or you don't, or you recognize their work ethic, or...
I mean, and you said not in Austin, or...
No, it can be
just anywhere?
Just anywhere. It can be in Austin, outside.
I mean... For somebody for people that were influencers like early on, and even kind of to this day to a degree, I mean, I think it all started with Flow Rock, just to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Like that's the dude who got me into DJing, because DJing was something I was interested in, but I didn't know how to make that first step.
I met at the bathroom. I met at the urinal, right?
Not in the urinal. Not in the urinal.
How's it hanging, bro?
Not in the urinal. We did meet because we had a history class together.
Yeah.
And then we had a substitute, and then we both were able to skip class at the same time because they had the announcement, and they were like, okay, baseball team members and band members, please let them out to go to the pep rally, because the baseball team members were rallying for a baseball game, and the band members are the ones that played the music at the pep rally. So they had to get there early before the crowd got there to get ready for the presentation.
So y'all figured y'all maneuver through that madness?
I said I was in baseball. Flo said he was in band. I didn't know he was going to walk out, but I was just like, yo, I'm in baseball. I play center field. And the substitute teacher didn't know any better. He was like, all right, go ahead and go. And then after I walked out, I guess Flo said, well, I'm in band. And he's like, okay, you can go. And my first stop was the bathroom. I got out and I just went to the bathroom. I was like, I'm home free.
Yeah.
So I went to the bathroom.
Take a nice shit.
No, I was peeing. It sounds so funny, but because me, Giancarlo, peace to Dizzy, out in the Bay. He's out in California now. But so me and Giancarlo, we were dumb, man. We'd always just crack up and talk in class, but then, you know, we're hip hop heads, so even though we couldn't rap, we would always freestyle because we were bored as hell.
But you and Flow Rock do have a rap tape together.
That's later.
Okay.
That's years later.
I've heard some of this.
Yeah, that's like a year or two later. But so me and Giancarlo, we would freestyle in the back of class, just doing it. We weren't good at it, but we were hip hop heads. We were into breakdancing. We were into music, and rapping was just one of those things that it was free. And that's that's about the time when that whole like screw movement first wave was coming in of I'ma come down, I'ma come through, man, hold up, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So it was that type of flow. It was real basic, and because we're in the rap, so we would just do it in the class because it was Texas history. We grew up in Texas. We don't need to know more about it.
Yeah.
We went to David Crockett High School. You don't get more Texas history than that. And then we were in the Texas history class that you were forced to take in 11th grade. And
we already know the good old boys run the state.
So we skipped. I was in the bathroom taking a piss, and Flo, I guess, saw me as he walked by the stall. just like any typical guy's bathroom, the door had been kicked off.
Yeah.
And he's like, and as I'm finishing up, about to wash my hands, Flo's like, "Oh, so you rap, huh?"
First words out the gate.
Yeah, it's kind of.
So you rap.
It may be a little different, but he's like, "So you rap, huh?" And I was like, "Well, kinda, I guess." And he's like, "Well, I DJ," and I was like, "Really?" I'd never met a DJ like that. And then so, obviously we got done pissing and we get to talking, and
after y'all shook on it.
And then after we shook on it.
Shake your dick, this pissing contest is over.
And then so we got to be friends, and then I ended up going to Metropolis and seeing Flo do his thing and seeing turntables like in person for the first time, and then I was just completely hooked because Flo was like, "Dude, get up there, try it out." And then from that point on, I can't remember if that was 10th or 11th grade. I can't remember. And then from that point on, I was just completely hooked to where I had got a part-time job at Taco Bell, and my first goal was to get techniques.
Yeah.
And then once I got my techniques, I quit.
And Taco Bell is where every day you got free diarrhea.
No. Don't be hating on Taco Bell.
No, I'm not. I love to.
Taco Bell's always there for you, man.
I'm a food snob to the core, but I'll eat Taco Bell.
There's a special place in all of our hearts.
You can tell me Taco Bell while I'm at Slab, and I'll be like, if you go, I'll buy.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
That Mountain Dew.
But yeah, so Flo was definitely one of the influencers early on. 512 Fred, and these are guys that I still love talking to this day. Like, they're the homies, man. And then later on, like Mike Swing, he taught me a lot of stuff, and I think a lot of what he taught me was to kind of calm the fuck down, because like I've always been like a really high energy person, and Swing has always kind of been a guy that's super reserved, and he was so opposite of me, like.
I think that's why it worked though when y'all were.
Yeah, it definitely. And then to this day, like, we still think opposite. We have a lot of like-minded things that we're into.
You're both assholes, but I mean, you're the cool one.
I like
you're the approachable one.
There you go. You're the approachable.
I don't mind meeting a stranger.
But I love it. Mike has the. If you don't know Swing, your first reaction to him is going to be like, "Oh, dude, he's a fucking asshole."
I just feel like he has a dry sense of humor.
He's an amazing person, bro. I love him.
Yeah, he's always funny, but it's either do you get it or do you think he's fucking with you?
Yeah. Oh, he's probably fucking with you.
It's a little bit of both.
Do you remember that time we went swimming at the pool with Danny Ray, and he asked his ex-girlfriend, he was dating that Asian chick, so Mike being half Asian and half black, he said it with his dry humor. He asked Daddy Ray's girl at the time. He's like, "Hey, you have sisters, right? She's like, "Yeah." Well, do you have any friends? What did he say? Do you have any friends that are nymphomaniacs with small vaginas? Dude, she fucking cried, bro.
No, she didn't.
Dude, me and Danny Ray were laughing so hard we had to go underwater and laugh and then come back up. And, of course, Danny Ray had to get serious and, things like that. But it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that hurt.
That stuck out to me when he said, he just said it so seriously. He just rolled off the tongue. He's like, "So, do you have any friends that are nymphomaniacs with small vaginas?"
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
And they fucking went wild.
CRMG.